Hey guys, this is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching doing the trade review. Let's see, today's date is for May 14th, 2014. It is Wednesday evening. So the objective of what I'm trying to do with this blog, with the market previews, the whole 9 yards, is to teach people how to trade for themselves. I'm not trying to teach people how to trade like me. That would make me a trade calling service. Not what my intention is at all. Okay, I have a very simple premise. These trade locations provide a significant edge to traders. Okay, I expect on the first move into the zone, and again I have a video on my blog, the entire thing's a zone. First move into the zone, I expect a responsive buy. Everything after the first move into the zone, the risk is increased proportionally each time it hits. And my objective, very specifically, is to take the first or second touch of the zones, and then as time progresses, increase my trade size, right? So that all I need is 1 or 2 trades a day to build a massive trading account. Okay, I want to be very, very clear with that. I don't care about the second, the third, and the fourth touch. If the second touch provides me with tick divergence, which I did not see a lot of today, okay, I will take it. Now, are there nuances within there? Yes. The market changes its range constantly. It changes the way that it gets to the zones. Price action on certain days is hard to trade. But if you strip away all that other stuff, it comes down to one basic. First time into the zone. We opened up into the zone and we tested the back of this zone from the gate. This zone has been tested. This is the second time into the zone. This is the third time. Those tests will often work on a balanced day. However, for most traders, what they tend to do is they go, oh, look, we're in balance, okay, and I know this is first, second, third. I can take the first and second touches of the zones and do pretty well. However, where they make their mistake is we don't stay in balance for long, or we stay in balance with an expanded range. And what happens is those second and third touches start breaking. And what most traders end up doing is they make great money on days like today, and then they get busted on days where we have range expansion. Okay, if you focus on the first touch, you don't have to sweat that usually. Okay, if you look in the past 30 days, the first touch of the zones have generated over a 90% win rate. That is, frankly, it's awesome. And it has nothing to do with me. It's not like I created the zones. The zones are there. I'm just translating them from the data that I have into a tradable reality. Okay, so we already traded this zone one time. And again, I want to be clear. I have multiple trades. I have basically a tool bag of 5 different trades I'll execute through the course of the day. Sometimes they develop, sometimes they don't. Some trades work better in some markets than in other markets. However, the zone trade in general, in almost every market, with the exception of March, where the zones were getting run over, and we were getting directional moves with no counter trade. Okay, the zones generally work extremely well year-round. There are some rules that I put in to put safety features on days where we're having directional moves, like, for example, identifying open drive higher and open drive lower. But generally, once I get past the first hour, I expect the zones to work. Okay, so that being said, let's look at today. First touch of the zone, we got rejection. We came down here, okay, we touched the zone for the first time, and we have a clear rotation back up. You were easily able to get your 2 points. Again, where Globex low was completely blue, quite frankly. There was just nothing you could do there, and therefore it was not a zone at all. There was nothing to do at Globex low. It was I don't know how we landed there, other than there just wasn't a very clean open. Okay, first touch, pretty much done. If you wanted to take the second touch and you're comfortable, right, that's fine. This is a balanced day. What are one of the characteristics of a balanced day? Tick is plus or minus 500 all day long. The NYSE tick is what I'm referring to. Go look at it. It was plus or minus 500 all day long. I'm not going to pull it up here. Secondly, one of the tells of a balanced day, right, is that new lows are purchased and new highs are sold. Now, there's an exception to that. If you'll notice through the course of the day, look how tight we came in. At one point, we were down to like a 1-point range in here. Okay, this is like a pressure cooker with water boiling on the inside, right? And once the pressure builds high enough, it's either going to explode to the upside or it's going to explode to the downside. And that's exactly what happened. So I heard from various people who said, hey, they did great with the trades. They took the second and third trades. Generally, people who are taking second and third touches of zones are looking to trade for security. They were looking behind and they go, oh, they bought it the first time, they bought it the second time, they bought it the third time. I'll take it the fourth time because they're probably going to buy it again. That works on some balance days, but you're so setting yourself up to get bone crushed. And frankly, I hate to see that. So at any rate, that's my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents on the balance here. I still don't care how many times it does this. I'd already said by 9:30 that I pretty much thought the day was done. At that point, I thought the price action sucked for today. I pulled out I think 2 or 3 trades this morning. I have to go back and look at my spreadsheet. For the week, I'm up approximately 10 points on my zone trades prior to 9:30 in the morning, and I still have 2 days left. That's a fine week, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't need more than 1 or 2 trades, right? The last piece is this. Okay, look how this was getting lower and lower, and if you took the trade in here, okay, this was breaking off a balance. It's way near the end of the day, okay, given it's not the last hour yet, but the end of the day is harder to trade. It's sloppier, and the reason why is after 10:30 a.m. you lose your market participants. That's why I tried to focus all my trades on the highest odds hours. Why is it the highest odds hours? Because 40% of the world's hedge funds are located in London, and those guys go home at 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening while we're still up. Okay, so you lose your participation. It doesn't mean you can't get movement. You certainly can, right? This is evidenced as a breakdown right here. And then the last piece, and I want to be clear, I say this all the time, I don't trade the last hour. I don't take contra trades for the most part. Every once in a blue moon I'll throw in a trade, but for the most part I don't. Okay, this trade right here, first time into the zone, responsive buyers, pushed back up. The concept is the same. First touch of the zone usually works. There was a warning sign here, by the way. We came within a tick of this zone. We tested this 1884. So this technically would have been considered the first touch, and this would have been considered the second touch. Someone pointed this out to me in the afternoon. I don't scrutinize it that closely because I'm not interested in taking counter trends at the end of the day because you can get run over. And too many retail traders, I'm going to leave it with this, right? Too many retail traders they like it when it gets slower. They like it when a zone's been tested multiple times. They see it as confirmation that the zone's going to hold. If you can flip that mentality, I take the trade right into the heart of fear, okay? Right where people think, oh my gosh, it's going to break down, or oh my gosh, it's the morning. Look, we opened. This was not an open drive environment, guys. Look at this crap right here. This thing was just bobbing around, up and down, right? First time into the zone, easy rotation up. You could have taken it in NQ. It tested Globex low at the same time that it pushed into those lows, and the tick was plus or minus 500. It was a pretty easy read, right? It takes time. The last piece that I want to leave with, and I'm trying to go through all the issues that I went through the course of the day with different people, right? It takes time to transfer from being a trader who's break-even trader or a losing trader. Most losing traders, if they can get rid of their worst third of the trade decisions that they make, okay, usually can get to break even or close to break even pretty quickly. Most break even traders, if they can get rid of the bottom half of their trade decisions, okay, will become profitable traders almost immediately, right? But the process of doing that can be very frustrating, okay? First of all, the trades that you're dropping, if I'm your coach, are trades that work about 60% of the time. That means you're going to look at that trade and you're going to go, oh, I knew that would work. I should have taken that, right? And you end up on this constant torture carousel of, oh, I should have taken it, or, somehow I should have known not to take it, okay? If you can narrow down and actually get in your stats that you know you have an edge that's close to 70%, okay? And I know a couple of things with absolute certainty, and this comes directly from Mark Douglas. I know the first time into the zone I have high odds of getting a 2-point rotation back up. Every time? No. But in the 70% neighborhood. Number 2, I know that I have huge odds of hitting that 2-point rotation and being able to get out of the trade. Number 3, I know if I can rinse, wash, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat, that process over and over again, and increase my trade size, I will make an enormous amount of money. And in that process, once I get to being profitable, I can add 2 or 3 additional very high odds trades to my portfolio, okay? Then I become a consistent winner. I can increase my trade size aggressively, and I can structure my increases in trade size to work against prior profit structure, meaning that even if I take 1 or 2 stops once I increase my trade size, I'm still within my profit margin that I built up from the prior series. Okay, guys, this is powerful stuff, okay? And it's the difference between being a trader who struggles for years and years at break even and becoming a trader who actually makes money and puts money in their pocket. So this is what my hope is for everybody, okay? I would hope that everyone who's following me understands when I put these zones up, I'm focused primarily on the first touch. If it's a second touch, I need tick divergence. If it's a weak zone, I need tick divergence. The other thing that I focus on is the size of the trade rotation, right? I usually want the trade rotation outside of the very, very earliest part of the day to be in excess of 4 3/4 points, preferably 6 to 8 points, somewhere in that area. Okay. The last thing I want is I want to focus my efforts prior to 11 a.m. most days. I've heard everyone tell me about how they can get trades at the end of the day. I see very, very few traders actually making money after New York lunch. Okay. Maybe they make money one day, they give it back the next. Okay. I see consistency at the beginning of the day. I see inconsistency at the end of the day. And then I don't have a PhD. I'm not a psychologist, but you can read Mark Douglas. You can read Andrew Menaker, Brett Steenbarger. All of them point out that we have a limit. Most people have a limited ability to make multiple decisions in a row and have them all be good decisions. According to Menaker, it's approximately 3. You get 3 good decisions in a row. And if you think about that, that's not even necessarily 3 good trades, right? That may be a decision not to take a trade. There went 1 good decision. Second decision could be simply, I'm waiting for the rotation down, I'm taking my trade there. There's your second decision. Third decision can be whether or not to leave a trailer on your trade. Okay? If you look at how many decisions have to go into one decision tree for one trade, okay, by the time you get 2 or 3 hours in, it is a wonder that anyone can possibly trade for 7 or 8 hours in a row. I know I can't, and I know on days when I do, I tend to end up working real hard not to take losses or not to make trading errors. So anyways, I hope this helped. Anyone can learn how to trade. Anyone can learn how to trade, but you have to be willing to let go of your crap trades, your mediocre trades, and even your trades that are around 60% on a day trading basis, right? You got to let those go in favorable of your highest odds trades. But if you can do that and you can get to that point, you can make an enormous amount of money in the market. Don't believe the BS about you can't make profit day trading is totally and completely erroneous. So anyways, that's what I wanted to leave y'all with, and I hope everyone's doing well, making plenty of money. Focus on the first part of the zones, guys, please. It's so much easier to stay consistent with that. And I'm going to bed. I'm exhausted. I'll see you all in the morning. Good night.